said I have been live, so let's add the marker and we'll go for it.
Okay, running.
Bit of a weird song to be starting with here, when it's like an ending credit song, but you know, whatever. We'll just live with it.
I
And
think, yeah, end of the good formats with last set.
exactly. There you go. Yeah.
Head to tail.
Heads. I will go first.
So we'll have to forgive if we have any minor mishaps and stuff here. There's been a little bit. We've not had an opportunity to play for a while, so we'll see.
Ultra Ball discarding Encino and Fire Energy.
That's the card we just got back.
Yeah, definitely a fun one to have around. One more year in terms of current standard, right? Because Regulation F is on this thing, so.
Fitted Ultra in SVI base. Sure.
Oh yeah, okay. If it's in there, then it'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, I got. Well, technically Paladin. Okay, technically, but
Yeah.
Got a Crobat.
no, like I know.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Air Balloon. Crobat. Dark Asset for 3. Magma Basin.
Which is also a nice new one.
Quick Ball discarding Boss's Orders.
It's not a new one, but a new artwork at the very least. So I have.
Particular art got a full spread.
It
Not
did.
that
It did get.
Iris we got.
Yeah, Cyrus did get full art, but it's not as good. I don't think, personally.
Magma Basin.
And we go with the Charizard. It's not a Nuzlocke, but it's close enough.
20, right?
Yeah, 2 damage canvas.
Touch Fire Energy and pass.
That's a pretty good start, not gonna lie. Considering that was a Crobat draw 3 as well, that's pretty respectable. Switch that song over.
All the Jolteon. Tell line, you're not sure.
Yeah, it's the Intel killer. But if Intel isn't there, then as the Cinccino kind of, or the Minccino even would kind of indicate.
Oh no, I had to bench my Pukamiku.
Do anything at the bitch puke. Arceus?
Yep.
Arc of the jungle.
Quick ball, discarding Evoing. Beedrill. Beedoof.
The doof.
Different steps here. Which?
Of course, we know who the real doof in this picture is.
Money.
Alright.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Slightly annoying, but you know, that's not the worst thing that happen. Especially when you get a hand like that.
Catch water.
Is that it? I didn't hear you say pass.
Oh, yeah, sorry, pass.
Yeah, I think it cut off at like attach wart, and then that was it for what I heard as well.
I
So
poisoned
it's
noise
okay.
gate.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Ultra Ball, discarding Mincino and Fire Energy. I feel like if I go for it, what are you really responding with here?
I'm feeling the same, to be honest. Like, we know there's a KO on board here, right? So...
Or to just Luminous Sign and make sure that this is safe.
It's interesting, isn't it? If you go for Luminous Sign, you could get what, like research here, I suppose would probably be the thing, which is reasonable. You could get into more stuff there, but if you whiff it, you might just lose the game on the spot.
Issue.
Yeah, if you whiff the KO here, I think you lose on the spot, right? So
Oh, shit.
you got 2 fires in the discard at the moment, so yeah. Here's our new mechanic.
Scoops of that.
Yeah. So yeah, the idea being that this will do 230. You'll attach with Magma Basin from the discard. That's why we didn't have to worry about discarding a fire anyway, and just being like, yep, I can do 230 now. We'll take 2 prizes, which would have probably been these 2, right? So sure, but you're doing
good ones.
Yeah, you're doing a consistent 230 hit here regardless, and then it's just like, okay, sure, we'll just play from board from there. That's totally fine.
I had nothing I could do because I had no double turbo to Trinity Charge, no second arc, no way of getting to either because I clogged on the 3.
Yep.
So I had to attach and hope because even if I try to attach bench and play conservative, then what? I'm not going to get energy that way. I've got no Melanie access to this die, so I've got no.
Yep. No, respectable. It do be that way. The hand that you money to the bottom was Cinchino Research, so yeah, it was still pretty good anyway.
It's pretty good hand.
I had to play the mind to keep playing, so I had to just not sad about that.
Yeah, but it's just like even if it was oh, you know, it's unfortunate that I have to get rid of a 2-card hand for a 4-card one. The 2 that you got rid of were like 2 of the best cards anyway, so you know, it wasn't.
I think I played that right, but it was just a non-game.
Yeah, it's tough. Like that start was.
Didn't get start.
Yeah, that start was very aggressive from Sai's end as well, which is really good.
I go first for game 2 then.
Okay, go ahead.
Sometimes shows that weakness isn't like the be all and end all for a matchup, isn't it?
I've been testing as well. I do actually have to respect this matchup, even with weakness. That's why I started going into it, even I had an idea what was.
Yeah. We caught enough of that, yeah. Yeah, this is something I was thinking about with it now. Now that Ultra Ball's in the format, it's like we actually have to consider discards a lot more again, don't we? Because like Quick Ball obviously was a decent one for that, but with that being the only thing, it's like, well, you know, resource management is actually a bit more important than it used to be. And I, for one, appreciate that. Yeah, this. So this is our replacement for the Marshadow, yeah, which is a much worse replacement, but it happens. And this is the kind of thing that comes up a reasonable bit, especially in Arc itself at the moment, because you want to path to the peak quite often in a lot of Arceus decks, but you also want to be able to out the opponent's path if they do it before you Starbirth, right? So you sometimes will need to put this down to bump their path because it's the only stadium you play, and then be able to Starbirth, and part of your Starbirth is like double turbo plus the path again to stop the opponent from doing their thing.
Ball, discard Marnie memory capsule. Doof. And
That pass, or?
yeah, that passed.
Yeah,
Am I noise gating or that?
a little bit. Yeah, that we didn't hear the other bit there.
Okay.
There is a bit of cutout on.
Quick Ball, discarding Fire Energy.
Pass. Pass.
Yeah,
Pass.
there you go. There you go.
Pass.
There you go.
Pass.
That's a bit better.
Okay. Yep.
At least some of it is coming through. That's enough to sort of get the
Magma base?
gist.
My nose is a bit funny today because of allergies. So.
Yeah, it's one of those awkward days. Would you do that in this situation? You're going second this time, right?
Actually, fair, yeah.
Because that's why we play this one, isn't it? Because this has actually got a good attack for going second.
And Crobat V for 4. I've been in the deck, I'll just make sure it's
Yeah,
shuffled.
that's reasonable.
Put down a Mincino, call for family.
Yeah, this is one of those situations with no energy attached on the first turn here. It feels a little bit safer going for, because like Trinity Nova is unlikely here, right? So
Yeah, I would need to get Melanie set up as well as my DTE and no waters in discard. That's not likely.
yeah. Entei!
Again, Entei and a Charizard.
Arf arf!
Vault to B-Barrel?
This is one of the few that I won't end up using with a bid here, just because it almost looks a little confusing as to whether it's a water or a colorless Pokemon.
Yes. So that is it. Venture Arc V and Inciters. Bye.
It's back.
Vault to VMAX. Down a Beedrill. Catch Psychic and let's have Water Sorry.
Okay.
I'd be very impressed if it was a Psychic Energy going down.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's technically a possibility in certain bits, but I'd be impressed.
Doesn't matter where this goes.
Probably not, right?
Right, so we can't get any more basic side, so make do for Quick Ball.
Draw two.
Draw 2. Ultra Ball discarding Entei and Boss. I think it's just going to be another one of these.
Yeah, makes sense.
There's not quite enough to work with here.
It's a bit of a tough one, isn't it? I think there is one thing that we're looking for an energy this turn, right? Is the obvious thing.
Yeah.
Because if we can get an energy to attach, there is an attack that's live on this board, which is good.
Yeah. Make do discarding Ultra Ball.
As painful as it is, I think that is the right option.
That makes things even more annoying.
So you're going to have to preemptively commit if you're going to go for a particular plan here. Which is not great. Yeah, sorry, Pepper, there's not been anything I can say on your side, so I wouldn't play that first. Yeah.
Brick is no energy.
Yep.
I'm going to retreat into another Cincino. So I can Magma Base into my Charizard.
Okay.
Well,
it's...
No, I should do this because then I can draw from this.
Yeah, that's the other thing,
And this is also a reasonable attack if I can get an energy.
Attach?
Yeah, it's a base and attach, so there'll be 2 damage counters on here. That was the one thing I was looking at. It's like, well, it doesn't quite kill by itself, but it also gives you an extra draw, and this is an easier thing to like start off with.
Did I Footed or Marnie? I think I Fleet-Footed first, because if I get an energy, this is going to be...
I agree, yeah.
That does
it.
An energy.
This is, I mean, I guess it works both ways, because the Charizard also has a colorless in its thing, but yeah, that definitely works out. So...
you would need a lot in a 2-card hand to attack back from this, so I'm going to boss in the Gyarados.
That's why I was looking at this entire turn. Is
and
like
burning Rondo.
It'll be 200, right? Because there's 9 bench, so it's 180 plus the base 20. Yeah, that's why it was like it doesn't KO Arceus by itself because you've left a bench spot open. So it's like either you get choice band and you have to do it that way, or the better, if you could manage it, the best play is to get up this guy, right?
This guy's very chunky, and the only way in deck I can deal with.
Yeah. Poor
the only way I can deal with healthy Gyarados VMAX in one shot is if I get a choice band and the VSTAR.
Yep.
Volt Beedrill inside us for 5. Oh, if I held that was in.
And then even when you think about it, the worst case scenario that happens here is you get like Hyper Beam KO'd or something, and then it's like 2 prizes, and you take 3 on the next turn, ideally, right?
Yep.
So at least you need to find another switch for it, or like switch out. But I think you can manage that based on 2 main dues and a space that you could maybe have another, if there's another Crobat or something. I don't know the deck list well enough, but you know, point is we could probably get there.
It'd probably be a Luminion for research or something, try and work with that.
That's true, yeah, that also would do it.
Why even get out?
I think a Luminion for research with 2 make dues is probably quite a good chunk of the deck to see through.
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing? Go in here. Bench an EV, catch water, sizes for 2, and I hit stop. Okay. Going.
Yep. So flip the marker, search for any 2 cards, and put them into hand. I think there's only 2 viable options here, but
Ultra Ball Water or Water Mining.
yeah, something like that, yeah. Because we don't have a water in the discard at the moment, otherwise this would have been an easy turn, right? So
Yeah. I do, but
At least Melanie is not a boss.
Yep.
Water, Ultra Ball, discard water and Art V.
Yep.
Put that down. A bit more boss resilience.
yeah, it's 280 HP is pretty good, so
Money. pretty deep in, but we do get the Hyper Beam KO.
Yep. I mean, that does it.
It's a good start, right? Yeah, so the reason this ends up getting complicated is because Magma Basin can only attach to bench, which is why you couldn't just immediately go up with the Zard anyway. So yeah, we basically just need to find a switch out in a bit here.
Make do discarding Marnie.
Oh, I get it, yeah, because if you don't like the cards here, then you can... Oh, that does it as well, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I was puzzling a little bit there, and I was like, wait, that makes sense because of what else you've got in hand. You could just like, yeah.
Actually, is this enough?
Yeah.
I need to get this out, and I need to get.
You've got a second mate do on board. I think you can do it. Right? Am I missing something out of this hand? I think you've still got.
Just wondering how I get this out. If I...
Well,
yeah, I suppose I do it. Yeah.
Raihan can search any one card, so yeah. We just made do to draw the 2. Well, I mean that solves the problem, doesn't it? So Raihan gets the other basic energy out of the discard pile to the Zard, which is good.
Does that do that first? Or...
Yeah, attaches first and then searches any card.
Okay.
I know it probably doesn't matter here too much because I know what the idea is going to be out of this, but yeah.
We are looking for an air balloon.
Yep, air balloon is the ideal one too because it doesn't. It's not a consumed resource. So.
We already have a magma basin up, so.
You did use the second mate do to discard for the quick ball.
Sorry.
So yeah,
no,
that's fine.
Yep, sorry. That's why we have markers.
Yep.
And then we retreat and explosive fire for the KO.
That's 3 prizes in return, so pretty good.
Mark goes up. Okay.
Well, sometimes you're just that good.
No way of facing, so I'm just gonna melanate. Voltage Jolt. Touch DTE.
Not that it would change the math here anyway, just a critical note, this does actually reduce the damage by 20 as well, so... But I think you will.
Oh, reduced it by 20, hang on, so that's...
yeah, because you manual attach to this as well as Raihan and 1 use of the thing, so it will eventually be at that, yeah.
Search.
Yeah, I think you've got everything out of the deck, I mean, at this point, really.
Yeah, that was just that was in case of Marnie Finn. That wasn't...
Sure.
Oh, no, actually, hang on. I'm scared. I'm not feeling as... So I think it's actually correct for me to just search out a Jolteon here.
Yeah.
Because if it gets Marnie, it goes to the bottom.
Yep.
Good plan.
Far too big trying size of this hand.
Unfortunate, but yep.
Infinity Nova.
So, yep, the 180 and then up to 3 basic energy onto your Pokemon V in any way that you like. Like, sheesh. What an attack, huh?
Pitch Pyukumuku.
So, for the people here, if it's in the hand, you reveal it, put it to the bottom of the deck and draw a card.
Well, that's a good one to keep around.
I imagine this turn we probably want to try and put another fire in the discard for Magma Basin, huh?
Yeah,
we
that's
haven't.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because we haven't been able to do that yet.
These haven't been used yet. I'll use this one, pitch Magma Basin.
Just gonna get this one out for the stadium as well, just in case that becomes a thing.
I don't want to air balloon, but I'm not sure what to air balloon. It probably should be the Crobat, because I don't want to attach that, and the Cincino does have an attack that's reasonable.
Yeah,
We've seen that 40 matter before.
Considering you're a 2-prize deck with a bit here instead, that could mess up numbers a little as well, so I can understand that. It's gonna have to go active if you want to actually KO this thing this turn, right? Because you can't Magma Base into the active, so
yeah.
So that'll be a shuffle deck. That'll be a shuffle
Yeah.
deck too, because it is a mandatory search. That's what I was just looking up at the moment.
I think I can pitch this for the second make do.
Yeah, I don't think you're putting another Charizard down at this point.
Still no fire energy, which is the painful part. I don't want to discard this entire hand. His hand is way too big, so I think the only option right now is to do this.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's irritating.
Well, we will pitch a Pukemyuki again.
But it came back.
You can't use more than one.
Never
Pitch a
mind.
Pukemyuki.
Never mind. We can't.
Yeah, I figured I was getting
Oops.
back on a hard one.
Ah, dear.
It actually does get the kill, but again, that Arceus is just going to kill us next turn, so it's probably better for the next Zard.
Yeah.
And Starblaze.
Discards 2. Not that it matters too much, but 2 energy do get discarded off this thing.
Actually, that. Okay. Okay. Quick ball, discard Ultra Ball. Gyarados V.
Yep.
Patch a DTE to active. Incisors for free. So I should. Yeah, I'll just Trentine over here. Goes.
Yep. Stand 2. Surprisingly close, isn't it? But... Not putting up the one with the air balloon? Just out of interest.
Sorry,
I think that was what you wanted to do, so that's why I'm like, yeah, probably.
No, that's my bad. Make do. Discarding a Cincino. Quick ball, discarding Magma Basin. Just gonna do a deck check here.
Why is the Pukemon there?
Because
probably 'cause it's...
Yeah, that was the initial plan, I think, and then it just didn't get used yet.
Okay.
You don't have Starbirth, I think this is the plan. The mini on V. Boss into Beedrill.
Okay.
I need to try and make it so that it's as hard for you to get out as possible. So you would need 2 energy, so a Melanie and an attach would get you the kill, which is unfortunate. But I don't think there's anything that can stop. Well, actually, because if you Melanie, you can't boss me.
That's it, yep.
So that's not horrific.
Yep, you're catching on.
Pyukumuku to the bottom of the deck. I think I want to
I'm
do
gonna save.
this
I'm gonna
this
save
turn.
you the effort on that one, and I'm gonna do that first. You want to put it on that one because this one you can just retreat, right? If this goes down,
Oh,
you've got
yeah.
a better pivot.
Yep.
The idea of putting that up was the initial 0 retreat, but now it's like, yeah, if you're attacking, you'll want to attack with this because the energy can still be a retreat
at
anyway.
This point, Ultra Ball is useless, so we're going to make do an Ultra Ball. Oh, that's funny, but I don't think it matters.
Those are the relevant 2 out of there. That's out of the discard. Because we've got two pots we're going to have with it here, right? One from the base and one from the attack, if that's where we're going.
Yep. This is going to be funny, if anything else.
I mean, it
Stealth
doesn't...
does not increase the damage to B barrels.
Yeah, it's
No,
not
it doesn't.
Which
No,
is,
but I want it out of my hand in case I get Marnied.
I
I
guess.
probably want to put that down, and yeah, we'll just energy assist for 40.
And I have switch boss. Boss in Luminion, switch in, kill it again.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh well. I tried to make you not have it.
You top
I
deck.
in my hand.
Did you top deck the boss there? Because I didn't...
No, top deck was Marnie. Boss
Oh,
for the
okay.
prizes.
Right, fair enough.
Well,
yeah.
there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
I tried to make you not have it. But still, surprisingly close for a weakness matchup. Oops.
Oh yeah, I do have to respect this. We figured out in testing. Lay it out, get used to the deck, and oh, my Gyarados just died. I'm in danger.
Yep.
Because you're one of the few things that one-shots this. Because the Gyarados deck kind of doesn't like getting one-shot because it wants to get angry instead.
Yeah.
Changing the game plan a bit. Even with, I did get a slow start there as on both games.
Yeah, you managed to just about make it work with the Melanie or the VSTAR power into like the Melanie stuff, and then yeah, just being you top decking Melanie again after. Oh no, the DCE again after to just be like, yeah, all right, I'll just do it again.
Yeah, there was several points where I was definitely supposed to lose. I think there.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting for sure, because I don't think there was really a different way that we could have gone in this bit because of the weakness being such a problem, right? Because even if it was, even if you survived because of the energy discard on Hyper Beam, then it probably would have still been a bit too awkward to have attacked again, thanks to the bench requirement on Basin. So that would have been a rather tough bit. So I think definitely going in with one of them was fine. You had to have evolved in order to make the Charizard worth it, so I think it was right to go in with the Entei for sure, and do that bit first, because it was always going to be a 2-hit KO in that situation, right? We didn't have enough energy to do the Star Blaze to get that going, so... Yeah, it's interesting though, for basically a pure fire deck going against what is ostensibly a pretty big water attacker. Like, it's surprisingly close.
It helps that this deck's quite teched against Inteleon, There's quite a few extra bricks. This is useless in this matchup. I don't think you've got anything worth pathing. You got these guys, but they're not critical to what you're doing, so paths are pretty useless.
This deck can make do without those abilities. Oh.
So I think there's just a lot of things in this deck which aren't made for this matchup. It helps bring it close to even.
Yeah.
And then the sheer aggression, which can sometimes be enough if you just can't hit your early energies. Like, I know Herder, Chaos always... Herder, I always top deck it, but...
I think
struggling for energy both games there at the start.
Yeah, I think the only misturn was just not having the fire energy in the discard after the... It was obviously right to have like right hand plus Magma Basin do the thing, that's not a problem. It's just the unfortunate bit of not having the additional energy attached down.
I tried.
Yeah, you did, but it made it so much harder, and I think that stunted the preceding turn, because like if you had that extra energy attached from the Magma Basin, you wouldn't have had to energy assist in the first place. You just explosive fire for game, right? So
yeah,
that's the unfortunate bit. You drew as much as you could. You did what you had to do with it. Just didn't pan out. It's the unfortunate bit. It does. The only thing I'm wondering is maybe sequencing off of it, or maybe like going for the supporter first, like if you went for like a research or something to try and draw it that way, and then have one make do still available. Maybe that would have been the play, because if we could have kept it for after the draw supporter, would have been if you drew an energy off of that, it's like, well, now I can discard that energy.
There was a lot of good stuff in that hand I didn't want to get rid of. That was the issue, and when you see a hand that big, you kind of... Marnie is very attractive.
It is, and it's also funny at the same time in some ways, because it's like, yeah, Marnie is very attractive in that hand, and then you see two Beedrill down, and it's like, does Marnie do anything against this? It's like, it kind of does.
The funny thing is, I would have Marnie as well, because I actually kind of wanted that hand in my deck, as I had my last three waters in hand, and knew I was going to have to Trinity Nova to something at some point. I wanted those guys sitting in the deck waiting for me, so I was going to Marnie my own hand there, if you didn't do it first.
Fair, but, you know, I can't know what's in your hand.
Yeah, of course.
Because at the very end there, you had to Marnie me on that last turn, or I just boss switched you. And you didn't, so that's what happened.
Yeah, but maybe I should have Marnied, but like I couldn't have known what was in that hand.
And again,
I just thought trying to stunt you because, oh hey, you're probably hurting for energy. You don't have your Starburst to...
This energy was 1 DT in deck, pretty much.
Yeah, you're probably... you don't have your Starburst to try and get your rope or your switch. Right. Like, I tried to play it as best I could, and sometimes that just doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't think was it down a boss? I can't remember if I'd used if I'd just thrown away a boss early game or not.
Yeah, I'm not immediately sure.
I was down a switch from something.
This thing is chunky enough that getting it in sort of late game can be a problem for you.
Yeah, like it has to be the DT or one of my 3 switch outs. One was probably burnt, so.
Oh, definitely one was. I know that much because you had.
I know it's not my rope in deck, but rope also gives you a chance to throw one prizer in, which makes it harder for me to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, you just if rope happens, you just put that second Cinchino in, right? So that wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, no, it's an interesting sort of balance. It shows off both sides. Like, you don't have to play Arceus to do things. Clearly, there's an argument that maybe Arceus would end up fitting here, but you don't have to play it, right, in order to do something with it.
Charizard exists.
This is just one of the neat decks that doesn't need it.
Yeah,
and it's a good Charizard, which there aren't that many.
Well, not in history. Recently.
Recently they've been pretty good, but like in general, they've more been. These are really, really expensive and not the best to play.
Case in point, the one that actually does typically play the Arceus is the VMAX. Because it turns out with Choice Belt, actually this ends up being viable. Because remember that whole thing, if it can't quite one-shot the opponent, if it's 5 energy move, turns out now it can. because yeah, Choice Belt puts it up at 330 or 310 if you put the DTE required for that part, which is still enough to KO Mew, and that's the relevant VMAX in the format, so that's fine. Yeah, it turns out this actually can be the thing there, and, you know, 310 would still be enough, even with Big Charm, to KO Arceus V-Stars and whatnot, so...
And you can extend it if needed.
Yeah, by one you can extend it, yeah, so, like... I don't know what exactly it'll be at 320 at the moment, but I'm sure there's something that you can ping with it.
Rex, maybe?
Hmm.
Maybe just random Arc Pile V-Star VMAXs?
Yeah, yeah.
Lycan Rocker 320.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's a 320. Something you very like to see in the top tables.
Yeah. So it's
speaking.
So yeah, I'm not playing this one. I wanted to put the V-Star in here as well because I figured it would actually be kind of good, but I didn't really have like a way that I wanted to change the deck because I would like to have Beedrill in here as well because Beedrill is great, and obviously. So, but then it's like you still don't generally want to give up too much on the Crobat side. And, well, this deck plays Luminium, which is actually kind of cool. So, you know, not every deck around this little bit does that. So it's nice to have, like, that sort of access. But then it's just like, where are we going? Like, Echoing Horn, you could probably take out maybe one of the boss, because it does play a full 4. But a 1-1 Beedrill is a very sad line, so I don't know, like, where else you go from there. So I just kind of didn't. Because if you can say, oh, well, if you take out Crobat, I want the V-Star in here. That's the point, right? So, you know, I need 5 cuts to get a 2-2 Beedrill in here as well, and I just couldn't quite, like, piece it together and have it make sense, so I just didn't. But, yeah, like, both Charizards can actually be played at the moment, which is very neat, to say the least. But yeah, also getting to see the Entei pretty early too. This does show up in a few decks from time to time. And yeah,
really good attack.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why the Suicune was so good last round, right? And would still be good this round too, technically. Yeah, that's why it's so good. Why the Raikou sees so much play afterwards as well. Yeah, weakness is a relevant thing too, but this attack is inherently a very good one. So yeah.
It's only going to get better when the new sets come out.
With Heat Energy, this is 250 health on a basic.
Yeah, right? That's kind of wild in its own right. So yeah, this is a very cool deck for sure. It's interesting seeing like Cinccino instead of you'd maybe even expect like Beedrill or something, but it makes sense here because you want to be able to discard the Fire Energy as well, right? So it's neat little synergies with each other with a bit there, and that's just fun to have. And sometimes Raihan just gets you set up in one turn, and you're like, oh, that's pretty good, you know.
Yep.
So yeah. You know, as you've mentioned, this is one of the few decks at the moment that is playing Jolteon. It's not the only one that can, it's just one of the few that is, simply because we have an attack that's worth using on the basic of your thing here. Yep. That it's not the one that destroys all the spell traps on the field either, because we've seen that already on Salamence and it didn't do anything, so ha ha ha. Get Angry is a really good one though, so like if
you think about what you're expecting to get hit by this format, a lot of 200 range attack, maybe 250 from the bigger stuff. That puts you in big damage range with Get Angry.
Yeah, remember how oppressive Tauros GX was when we were in that base set? It's basically the same thing here, right? If you don't kill this thing in one go, except way fatter, yeah. It's like if you don't kill this thing in one go, it is gonna kill you back, and I mean, it's still awkward because you're still giving up free prizes on the return hit, so you've got to just make sure that's not going to be too crippling. But man, is it good if you can get 2 like knockouts with this thing. I'm almost surprised not to see one Ziggy in here as well, though, because with Choice Belt, it's like you're 10 short of KO in the V-Stars, right? So it's a little surprising. I know you've only got one Choice Belt in the first place, but yeah, it's just like...
There's a bit of a tension there between Casual and Choice Belt.
Yeah.
You definitely want the choice belt because there's some matchups like this one where you are getting one shot and there's no intel. These memory catch will just look really stupid.
Eh.
Most of this actually cut down to 2 of these.
Which also makes sense because you're not always gonna, even if you can use it, it's like you don't always want to be using this attack because of what I said before, right?
Hyper Beam is obnoxious.
Yeah, it is. Discarding DTEs is pretty good, you know.
And it's enough in these weakness matchups as well.
Yeah.
At least
yeah, just. If only one basin hit has been used on the Charizard, it's not enough, which is very funny. But it is if they've used either 2 or if they're going in with like the Entei or something. Because yeah, Hyper Beam does 240 in that case with it, but so it's a 20 HP left. But it's like then they can't base into it again, and unless they've got one of these things on.
Thank you very much.
After the fact,
okay.
right? Because the point would be like switch to something that's got an air balloon on it, put the heat fire on to get plus 20 HP, and then use the magma basin, right? Because then you get to explode. Then you get to Star Blaze. That's the idea, anyway. If you've attached the last term of explosive fire, then it's like you've got free energy already. So one of them gets discarded. You then switch to the bench, put the heat fire on so that you don't die to magma basin, and then accelerate back because you've now got plus 20 HP to work with, and then you can just KO with that. That's the idea, right? Would be very funny.
No scrap it.
No, there isn't actually. Yeah, it's because this one doesn't really have a good way of like searching it when it needs to. You're never going to use Scrapper with like Starbirth, right? So it's so unlikely to be the case when like Path exists as the main thing. You're wanting Path DTE most of the time. So or
Path DTE. Yeah, hell gets me out of my current jam.
Yeah, Beedrill DTE. DTE something. I mean, you're only playing 3 of them as well, so it's got, because of the stringent cost on this thing, there's no DTE enabling here, so it's like, but you really need this double turbo to attack with Arceus. Like, sure, you can sometimes set up a Melanie, but the energy's a little bit, like, awkward for that anyway. There's only 7 of them, no, 8 of them, with a bit here, so it's like, you've got to have the opportunity to get one in the discard pile and draw one of your 2 Melanie too. It's like, yeah, just getting it from that is a bit tough. You are probably going to be using that Starbirth for a DT as part of it here. Right, well, that is the first of the things. Alright, who wants to play against a slightly silly one?
I have a
Everybody seems like you're...
Yeah, I have a silly second there. I can bring up. Oh, I actually, hang on. If it's your size stick, actually.
It's not the single prize silly, I will say that much. I'm not bringing that.
Yeah. That just kind of is awful for this.
Yeah, what would we like?
Head.
Oh, you got it. All right. Uh-huh.
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting, actually.
Quick game 2. This may be a...
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to work out what is actually best to start with here, because there's I've got 2 starters and they're both viable options for different reasons. I'm not entirely sure what I want to start with. I think I'm going to start that way. We will do that. Alright. This is why. Both of these are good for different reasons, right? So it's like, what do I actually start with? Alright, go for it.
Okay, let's put this. Wick Ball, discard Houndoom.
Ah, okay. Oh, it's this, isn't it? Yeah, okay, okay. Right.
Attach a capture energy.
Right, I see.
Dutch Houndour. Pass.
Okay, we will draw. That is funny because it's actually usable. It's usable, but do I want to use it is the thing, probably. Sorry, I'm gonna have to take a little bit working out this turn because I've got like 3 different ball cards in here that I need to use probably all of, and I'm just like trying to work out how the hell I'm actually getting down to what I need here. Because, okay, with this card as the exception, this is what I'm working with at the moment with it, and I'm just like, how am I working through all of this and getting the most out of it? Right, that's the thing with it, because yeah, with all of these, like I can say where the boss is probably going to get discarded. It's like, is the POW pad going to get used to shuffle it? That's the only thing I'm like. This was the draw for turn. I don't know if I'm going to end up needing to use that with it here. So this
Might change a lot if you have a Crobat or not. Sure,
that's also the thing, yeah. So, I mean, the obvious sensible one to do first is Level Ball because of that. Like, I'm pretty sure there is one, but, like, that's the other bit is, like, check the rest of it first.
Make sure it's not in the prizes. Make sure it's not in...
Right, and that is fair play, because it's, if there is one in here, it is not available. So, that's fine. But one thing that is available is Dunsparce. So seeing the Markahita, we've definitely got to get that out first. Because this will block the weakness on the color stuff. So
I love this art.
It's so good, right? Okay, so with that said, I don't think the Quick Ball is going to be playable here, is the thing. Because so it would be like, I'd have to basically go Quick Ball, discard the POW pad to grab something, which will then get discarded with the Ultra Ball. That's not going to happen, so I'm just going to go Ultra Ball, discard the Quick and the Boss here. Probably best to grab... Well, see, Keep Calling is something that might end up happening at the end of this turn as well. That's the weird bit. But it's going to be Keep Calling for not a very good setup, so I'm almost tempted just to get another Sobble anyway. How am I getting this thing out is the question. I don't think I am. There's like one card that would get us out. So he's probably going to have to stay. Which means I think it might be in my best interest to just grab another Arceus. Gonna POW pad back in the one boss here, because my last card is this. There was a reason I was hiding. There's a reason I was hiding it from you. So, yep, Dr. Bees! This is why it's the silly version. Yeah, so we're going to Single Stripe Mustard. The last card in hand is what it has to be. That's why I was basically just showing you the bit, going, this is what I've got to work with out of all of this. I could easily get to one card in hand, just what's the optimal way of doing it, right? So yeah, search your deck for a Single Strike of any stage, and put it onto the bench, and then draw 5. So that is what we shall do. And, well... That is technically a way of getting out the active. That is hilarious. I am going to... I think I can get away with doing that too, which is a funny thing. I'm going to Quick Ball, discard Mani to grab another Sobble here. Because in my estimations of this, I kind of forgot the Scoop Up Net existed in the deck, so I was thinking of great switch and like that sort of way. The only way that I'm gonna get this, but that's fine because I got DTE as well. So we're gonna Trinity Charge here for the free, and it is going to be one of those. I don't think I'm going to be using that Pokemon in this matchup, so one of those. Tempted to get the Grass Energy, I'll be honest with you. I can't put it on the Beedrill, obviously, but it's just with the way the rest of the deck is, it's like that might actually be beneficial anyway. Yeah, we will. So we will do that. We'll go the 2 here, and then I think 1 on the active makes sense here as well, just to thing it up. And that is the turn, so go ahead.
Evolve the Houndoom.
Yep.
Evolve the Hariyama.
Yep.
Single Strike Roar.
Yep. So the Hariyama's got a built-in focus band basically as its thing, which is pretty cool.
And research, discarding third Houndoom and research.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, because you discarded one in the first turn for quick ball, didn't you? So, yeah.
Yep, a hand made entirely out of Houndoom.
Sometimes not the best of puppets.
Ultra Ball, discard Bruno and single strike energy.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it's not quite so easy at this point with the weakness being removed, is it? So.
Get a Makuhita.
Yep.
Twin energy on the Makuhita. Venture Houndour and pass.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense to have twin energy here too, because it does. Oh my god, that is like probably the best singular draw I could have, because it's energy search. So we might as well get this guy established right now. So we will attach to the B because this can already KO as soon as I Evo Wind Sense. So. That's why I was okay getting rid of the Mani, because it's like I already have it in hand, right? I can just kind of do that. If I had bench space, I could get another B out right now, and that is hilarious. Right? Because I could Starbirth for just like whatever plus the energy thing out. That's so funny, but obviously that's not happening here. It's like, just get the supporter plus the thing. But I think I needed this guy out more, like this, to be fair, right? So. I don't think I'm in any sort of worry with that.
This kind of thing does
yeah,
kind of ruin my deck.
Yeah, because it doesn't do damage per se. So yeah, so obviously the search here is most likely because of that. Like I'm pretty sure with a no card hand and no draw engine on board, I should be using that right now. So that is what we will do. So the weird thing is just what to get, because I think I think there's still research in here, but it is prized if it is, so that's a little bit unfortunate. So I don't think I've got like a good supporter this turn, but I'm kind of okay with that. Definitely gotta grab you. So we are going to want that. Don't need that. I guess. Just trying to think how we would get messed up like the following turn, right? Is the and so it's just trying to preempt what it is I should be trying to grab here. You're probably fine to get. Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. So we'll draw those. I'm gonna put Drizzle down as one. Shocker, right? Like, where else am I? Because I could Mani, right, is the thing, but I don't want to Mani you off of a 2-card hand, right, when I don't need to. I've got my board established, right? Why am I Maniing you, you know? So that's kind of pointless. I think I just grab Ultra Ball. So do that, and then we will Trinity Nova, and there's one energy that I want to get out of deck, which is Duck. So we'll do that, and then our 2 prizes, and go ahead.
Still earn the energy back in before I do
Yep.
the thing. I earn for 1.
Oh yeah, because we discarded 1, but we haven't got another 1 in there yet. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Roll for I draw. Good order. We get the Bruno this. It's not the original plan, but
Okay, well it's a shuffle draw 7, so that's pretty good.
have a Hariyama.
Okay.
Ultra Ball has got Donjona and Choice Belt.
Yep.
For Houndoom.
Yeah, that Houndoom was last turn, wasn't it? So. Yep.
Threat Roar. This turn is going to be hammering for 140 because you've done stuff.
Yep. That was the exact thing. I was like, I know I've got it. It's like, well, I'm gonna just throw that down immediately so I don't get messed up too much. Yeah, because the plan, of course, picking it up from Starbirth was Charon's Care. So we're gonna go ahead and ace a roll of this back up. I don't yet know if I'm gonna put it down. I probably will, but there's also a chance that I could just like not with this hand. It's gonna go there, like for sure, because this is pre-charged, right? This has to come up because it's the one thing that's gonna guarantee the KO here. The only reason not to play the Arceus down immediately again is because there's a non-zero chance that I could just get another B going, right? And that's the bit that I'm like thinking on, because you are gonna revenge KO this. It's 130 HP, so you just need to roar again, and you are getting the one shot back. My best chance to not lose to RNG in this one is to persist Sting twice, right? So I think I do kind of need to consider whether or not I can go for another B next turn. Which is, and considering I'm not attacking with an Arceus as well, right? Is the other sort of bit of like, do I even need to put it down? Is the thing. I suppose the counterpoint is that if this goes down, there's going to be a bench space open anyway. So, like, maybe it is fine just to bench the Arceus anyhow. Because I can go Arceus double turbo, because this was attached before, like, and this was attached from Trinity. So, like, I can still just attach for turn as well. So I think it seems reasonable. I'm kind of just, like, playing myself out of it if I don't. Worst case scenario, I power edge you for an attempt at the KO, right? So I think it's still fine. So then the only other question is, do I do anything else with this turn? The answer is probably yes. Let's level ball. Again, try and set ourselves up for the next turn, because we do have another Drizzile. So we will go for that. I have enough stuff in deck otherwise to do it. Yeah, I'm just going to take it now. And yeah, we will persist Sting with special energy on your thing, auto KO without damage.
It's not damage. It doesn't. I don't get.
Yep. why I was like, I know you're gonna have the return hit here.
Old new rod.
Yeah, to shuffle in the Hariyama pieces. No basic energy
What?
to shuffle in, so
Oh yeah, right.
no, it's fine. It's I'm just noting is like, yeah, you can only get the 2 Pokemon here. It's not Super Rod after all. You can't get a 3rd one, so.
Air Balloon on one of the Houndoom. Pivot, I guess.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Roll or draw. An idiot. Or draw.
Mm-hmm.
And last card, Cynthia's Ambition.
Yo, sick. Yeah, draw 8 because a dude got KO'd.
Yukita down. Collapse Stadium.
You've supported this turn. That's fine. So yeah, Collapse Stadium puts us to 4 bench is the idea.
Quick Ball discards Morpeko.
Yep.
Akukita down. Attach single strike energy.
Yep.
And take BKO.
Yep. That seems fine to me. It's gonna probably be here. No, that might be a bit risky. Yeah, I mean, well, I'll sacrifice the energy if I have to. It's fine. Very funny. It's probably not going to help that much. That's fine. Right, Ultra Ball. Discarding... Oh, Choice Belt can get played down. Probably don't want to do that. Discard D2 basic energy here. Because we do have Big Shade, is the idea. So we're going to go Shady Dealings. I'm just trying to see how I get the rest of this down. It's probably got to involve Ultra Ball here. Thing is, I need to bounce the stadium as well. Okay, let me think real quick about this. So I have a net in deck, so I can get this back up. It's just that's another lot of cards in hand, and I've got to try and pare down as well. It's the last sort of awkward bit here. So if we... Right, so I can basically think out most of the term of it here because it's generally fine. If I grab the net, then I'm going to have 2 extra guys, 1 extra guy because there's just a Drizzile. But that's fine because I get two more dudes out. I am going to take Training Court as one of them for sure. So I think I probably need... Because I need to Ultra Ball again at some point during this turn as well, which is fine. This seems reasonable, because then... If I... this Ultra Ball needs to get discarded so I don't get confused. If I take the net, obviously scooping this back up, the Sob will just go straight back down, that's fine. I get two more dudes out. Have a playable in hand that I can discard the other 2 of Ultra Balls, so that should be okay. Yeah, gonna get Training Court down. We're going to scoop up net this guy. That goes back into hand. This goes down. Shade the second, which is going to definitely grab Ultra Ball and Ordinary Rods. We'll use the Rod. We will shuffle back. I don't actually think I shuffle back the Beedrill here because the Power Pad has been used and the other one's in deck, so that is fine. We will shuffle 1 2 energy just in case I need them, and that Dunsparce will go back. Yay for up 2s on our stuff here, right? So we've got 1 grass energy still in the discard, which is the important bit, because that's going to be... What's up?
Oh. No, I thought you were... Oh.
No. So I've used a rod to put back the 2 energy and the Dunsparce. There's 1 grass still in the discard for Training Court. Ultra Ball is going to discard Drizzile and Double Turbo to grab that Dunsparce. That's why I've not put it back in the deck yet. Oh, but I've still got a thing out. Oh god, I've still got cards I can't play. No, it's fine, it's fine. No, because Training Court's Bounce Collapse Stadium. That's not the problem. Yeah, you've forgotten that from like 50 steps ago. No, the problem is I have a supporter in hand that I can't get rid of if I do it this way. So I think what I have to do instead of discarding the DTE, I'm just going to have to like play for the flip this turn. Discard the Research instead of the DTE, attach that there, Choice Belt it, and then the last card is this. Means I can't, unfortunately, get the B guaranteed KO, but I still have a 50-50 flip, and I've still got the weakness prevention, so I think this is still okay. It's just not getting the B. I wanted to attach the B and get the guaranteed kill this turn, right? But I think this is still fine, you know. I'm not in the worst position with it here. We'll draw the 5. Does it matter which one of these I hit with? This has got 140, so yes, it actually does, because this is 2 DTEs on this thing now. Which is fine, so we will pay 1 to retreat out. I don't think there's anything else that is worth doing here, so we will go for the Nova. I am going to get the 1 energy out of deck to the Arceus. And flip to see if you live, which of course you do, because why would you not? So, 10 HP remaining.
Evolved Hariyama. Ball. Target. Down bar. Yeah, I should be here.
That's fair, yeah.
Threatening me directly.
Yeah, and this is the thing. If you did flip heads, you wouldn't get this, but you would get it, but with your last guy, and then if that goes down, that's it.
I have to just KO it here.
Yeah. It's just frustrating because it's like, yeah, if this actually dies, I don't think you have like any out in this game. But now it's like, well, not great, right? Okay, we'll draw. Yeah, kind of annoying. I suppose... Oh, why does this have to take 2 energy? That would have been hilarious to, like, roll out for the go here. That would have been so good here. Yeah, I obviously don't have enough attaches elsewhere.
DT to it for 10 damage.
Yeah, that would be very funny. Unfortunately, don't have one in hand because I had to use it for the other bit. That really would have been a consideration now, because double spin obviously doesn't work at that point. Yeah, the shame thing is this, obviously because of the way this deck works, you can't really play the other Intel, and there's not really any space for like Zigzagoon in this deck, so I don't think I'm getting any reasonable hit there. There's no point benching anything else really, because I've not got that much to work. I guess, I mean, worst case, I could probably bench one of them. Sure. We'll attach one just in case you've got another Collapse Stadium. I am going to Training Court that grass out anyway. And yeah, honestly, I'm just like, there's not really much else to sort of go in with, is there? Not really any point, I don't think, in putting that down. Yeah, we're just gonna have to get the flip, I suppose. We're gonna just Nova, no thing out of the deck. Yeah, of course. Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're not. You wouldn't have played this if you wouldn't. Like, that's the thing, right? Yeah, this was game over if you didn't get either of the, like, one of those flips, right? But now it's just you've got the boss and that's it. Yeah, so it's like, fuck off, man. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll take that out.
Uh-huh. Bet you will. Alright, we'll draw. Yeah, I'm going to attach and I'm just going to go for it with this. Which does get the idea, so... Yeah, alright. He gets the KO at the very least.
Oh.
Yeah, because of course you've got that as well. You can't not, right, at this point.
May as well put the belt down here. Evo Incent. Fail search. Houndoom. Attach Twin Energy. Symphony's Ambition. Hey.
Yeah, because of course, why would you not have that as well, right? My god, just the luckiest fucking like setup ever with this. I think I messed myself up slightly though. Like I'm sure there was a way that I could have done that B turn where I could have attached as well, but I just had so many dead cards in that hand, like free energy plus an extra supporter drawn off the prizes. I got really unfortunate with that, I think.
Quick Ball has gone more Peko, fail search. Hammer in.
Yeah. Alright, we will draw. Driziles. Good reason I put another one down. Hello, my name is Big and I am big. Put big charm on this guy. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. Boss up a Houndoom, the one with the balloon, please, and we will attack the Houndoom.
Some maps.
Oh yeah, choice belt kind of does it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yep.
300.
Well, okay, humor me, flip the coin, because obviously boss would be a thing with it. Humor me and flip the coin for it, because it's like, if I don't boss, then that would be the option, right? Yeah, you would have got it anyway, because you're you, and you've just flipped 3 heads in this game, and that's the only reason you win. Must be nice, must be nice.
Result to Hariyama, capture energy.
No, stop fucking playing, you've already got it, come on. This is the obvious worst thing you could do with any. You've obviously already got it. Stop fucking playing, dude.
I was off by 10. I thought it was...
Choice belt is plus 30 before weakness.
You're on 310, right?
Yeah.
I need one more. I need plus 10.
You've
My
got one.
Was prize.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I was on 3 Steel Strike all game. I thought you would have noticed with the way I was Houndooming, or not Houndooming.
Well, not really, because why would I have ever noticed? You never needed more than 2 at any point, right? Like, why would I have ever noticed that?
Yeah.
You don't need more than 1 on any of these at any given time, unless they're like 2 for hitting the weakness bit. There's never a situation where that would have mattered. In that case, why the hell did you attach preemptively to the Makuhita?
Bigger draw. I guess I tunnel vision on a bigger draw. I tunnel vision. Rubbish. I did not expect Big Charm to come out.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, Big Charm is pretty funny.
Yeah, so my goal basically was one guy with 2 on the bench and one guy with 1 and a belt. That way I kill with both. Needs be.
I guess, was there any way, like, you had 1 urn left, right? So I'm assuming you'd have
We all
gone
3
to
were on
that.
board.
Hmm?
I'd had to have a retreat play and.
Okay. Well, maybe I did. Maybe it was preemptive of it then, but it's like just expect. Well, you've got the 4th one in deck already, so it's fine, right? Because yeah, I had the other boss in hand, so it's just like that was it at that point. Fair enough. Fair enough. To be honest, it's more just to get this kind of tilts anyway with it. It's like it's so annoying that I was like just shy on the previous turn with a bit. Maybe I didn't need to get the Dunsparce out again, and I could have probably like taken something else for that, like taken a quick ball or something. I probably didn't have to get Dunsparce out that exact turn, and that might have been the play. Is like save the ordinary rod for later. Just be like, I can get the Beedrill, I can get the energy, I get the KO with that. That's the guaranteed hit, and then from there it's just a case of I can boss twice and win the game, right? Once you take out the other Beedrill. So I feel like I'd messed that turn up, and then it's just compounding that with the fact if you flip 3 heads in a row of this, is just be like, well, fuck you, right? Because you don't win if you flip any tails on that. So it's probably just a combination of that going, yeah, I like whatever, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah,
that should
not
have been a game for you.
This is my other thing I'd look into, but honestly, crushing hammer's just as bad for coin flips.
Yeah.
And this is a deck which needs hits hammers to do anything.
And Beedrill also kills this deck.
Yeah, sure does.
I mean, yeah, because like I don't necessarily care about the tool card bit. The special energy I can do without after I've gotten the first bit done, and it's just like you have to DTE to get this to go, so I just kill it with Beedrill anyway. So I think that's yeah, also pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just a thing of I kind of messed myself up very slightly off of the bit because of like I'm sure there was a way I could have done it where I didn't have to attach to the Arceus to like get out, and yeah, I think it was just involving I don't rod for the Dunsparce that turn, and that's fine. I should be okay with that. So like I'd messed myself up with a guaranteed hit, but then of course flipping, you know, all the heads in a row with it as well, just being like, well, I've had this stolen from me, basically. I should never have lost this game. And, yeah, it's... But in the end, I guess, because of your last prize being that, I probably should have played it out and I wouldn't have lost it, but, you know... I wouldn't have known, though, because there wasn't really any reason to suspect that, right? I suppose that you just go, maybe you've prized it and just be like, play it out anyway, but I was already like, nah, the game's done, so what's the point? What's the point, right? Because, I mean, when it's like you've already put the 2 on this, it's like, well, just have... Yeah, thinking where you probably would have a recovery for it, otherwise why would you have even done this in the first place? That's objectively the worst play that you could make. Just put it on the Hariyama in the active, right? If you're going to put them on anywhere at all, just put it on the active at that stage. If you can't attack with this anyway, what's the point of loading all of your single strikes on this thing? So, like, I wouldn't have suspected that. Kinda surprised you didn't have the Stone Journer as a load up on summon if you were going down that type of route, though. Because that would have gotten the KO.
I had to toss that early for something.
You did discard it, yeah, but it wasn't. It was in the mid game, so it's like I think you probably could have benched it. There was enough space. I don't know. Yeah, sorry if I ended the thing too early with a bit there. Digging it up, it's just yeah.
Yeah, I realised whatever from what I looked into, whatever I was bringing was going to tilt you, so I tilt you with the funny thing, the prize thing,
which is not really funny in the slightest, but you know.
The single prize being in Gen A, it's funny by default.
I want. See, the other thing I was looking at, I don't think it would have been right to not discard the Dunsparce. I guess the other thing I could have maybe done was discard the Arc with when Collapse Stadium dinged in.
Yeah,
but I don't think.
What we were going to do, to be honest. Either that or with Drizzile, depending if you need it or not, but that was obviously.
Well, the big thing was I already had the next turn established where Ordinary Rod could come in, right? But then the problem with that sort of bit is that I drew DTE for turn, so I had 4 energy in my hand basically, and that sort of bit, or 3 energy at that stage for the bit, and that plus the research off of the prizes as well kind of just made it like slightly too awkward to put the thing in, because it's like I had to discard like research, 2 energy, and basically discard the 3rd energy as well if I wanted to attack with a Beedrill. So yeah, the hand, like I had it all planned out, and then it just kind of got screwed up just because of the fact that I drew the energy as one does, you know. I think that was no, that might have been one. I was like, that might have been the last DT that was in deck at the time as well. So like, any other card off of it really would have been like, yeah, I can do this. But of course, I have to get the literal worst combination of stuff that I could have. I think I think I did mess up the turn with it though. It's hard to sort of math that type of stuff out and still be like, you know, in the ideal spot for it, if you will. Because, yeah, I think, honestly, it should have just been don't put Dunsparce down that turn. Because if I just KO, if I guarantee the KO on this thing, like, that makes it so hard for you to go from there, right?
Yeah, like, you saw when I had to choose between hitting B, I still had to choose B because I just don't win the prize trade at that point because I was so far behind. I have to kill your Bs.
Right. Which then leaves my V-Star still available, and I can go for the boss plan from there, right? Of just being like, well, now I'm definitely on 2 prizes, so I can just double boss and win the game that way. Because Dunsparce wouldn't have gone down by that point either, because the only reason Dunsparce went down is because you flipped 2 heads on the thing, right? So you got 1 boss on the B, then 1 boss on the Dunsparce, which you happen to just have turn after turn, by the way. 2 boss in deck, you just happen to have them on the exact turns that were needed for it perfectly. Go figure. On the same turns that you flip the heads with it, so it's like the odds of me losing that are minuscule, right? So, yeah.
Realistically, in a statistical sense, this existing ensures against this deck. It's just this deck is bullshit. It's just.
Well, your bullshit is the more the thing, not even the thing of that. Odds are. What are we at with like the Whimsicott, right? There's the other one, the GX thing. I don't think we ended up like fully playing that with it, but like this ended up being the complete opposite that way around. But yeah, I mean, this card isn't even good, even with the ability is the thing. It just happens to be that exact weakness that just about makes it okay. It's still not okay. This deck is not good even with that ability, but yeah. it is how it be, you know. Because I mean, again, hitting for 140 is just not anywhere close to being Respawn. That's if all the stars align, right? So, weakness is a big thing at the moment for sure, but I think this is
a thing.
I'm just like, I think this is stretching the definition of playable here, is the thing.
I think this is more reasonable because it's doing the same sort of thing on 1 energy.
Yeah, no, like, I get the idea with this one. It's like, well, with Choice Belt or the Cleansing Gloves is for the Psychic Match. I guess, why do we need Cleansing Gloves in here, actually? Because, like, what are we, I mean, Fiery Wrath does 170 after they take 3 prizes, so so why is it that?
You wrap onto good numbers, because if you have 2 prizes taken, that puts you up to 150. That doesn't kill Moo by 10. That doesn't...
Yeah, but
okay.
You know what does though? Choice Belt. If it's specifically for the V, I'm just like trying to work out is like, because I don't think you're going for a really early play on Meloetta, right? You just assault gate that thing, surely. I'm trying to work out why we specifically need Cleansing Gloves in here, because it just doesn't. I don't know why we're playing that instead of a 3rd Choice Belt. Right? What am I missing? Because there has to be something, surely. But every... Of which bit, sorry?
Sylveon?
But that's still a Pokemon B. you still choice belt against that, right? This is why I'm confused, because I'm thinking all of the psychic type stuff you'd be hitting is a Pokemon V, right? So, like,
unless someone plays as a budget deck and they didn't have the third choice belt.
which this is this is an online one, right? So
This
odds?
is an online.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. What's Malamar at? What's Malamar? Malamar's a 120, so it's to put on your Hooper to kill Malamar.
I guess.
That seems reasonable.
Though, wouldn't you rather just Donphan that? That's the exact KO anyway.
No, because it resists fighting.
Alright, yeah. Then it's to go on your Donphan to kill Malamar. There you go.
I guess.
It's something.
I don't know if I could get behind that, but I guess. I don't know. It just seems because it just seems so out of place. Because without the choice belt, Donphan doesn't kill Arceus either. So it's like, what are we doing with it here?
I guess the quick shooting is fine.
Still doesn't kill it.
You need 2 shots.
Yeah. Because 240 plus 20 doesn't get
and
it.
shoot again next turn, but Cameron's care, I guess.
I guess that's the other thing. Like, if any Ziggy was like playable within this thing as well, like maybe that could have been it. But like, if any sort of other bit could have gotten to the extra 10 ping, I probably wouldn't have even cared that I missed one of the KOs, right? Because it's just like, all right, ping it next turn, and then I try and take 2 of them out.
Surely you run a quick shoot before you run a gate with this kind of intel line.
With this intel line, I don't know. Because you've got to try and pare the hand down for the B, right? That quick shooting intel is a brick 100% of the time, right? If you're looking at doing the scoop up thing, it's just like, I don't know about that. I would not have gotten close to getting the second Beedrill out if I had quick shooting in the thing there. It would have just been a brick for sure. Anyway, the rest of this is obviously weakness preying, as a lot of stuff is at the moment. Like, I have basically all 3 of the best weakness types in the game at the moment. We have the Psychic, we have the Dart type with the Hooper, and then we've got a pretty interesting fighting type we don't see too often in the Galarian Zapdos. Like, this really does a number on the other Arceus decks, because like, unless they have to path it, like, and you can out the path with Drizzile, so it's like, yeah, Fighting Instinct, just like, they have to put a bunch of Vs down, and so you end up attacking for 1 energy and wiping them out. And if they have Dunsparce, well, you still wipe out their DTE and get the 2-shot on them, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, interesting.
Most important, this is the hit. Fighting, Psychic, Dart, B.
Yeah, and technically Grass is actually something that's good here too, because the Grass hits the Dart types that tend to be played. Like, Hooper is the obvious example here, but then we also have the Galarian Moltres, which gets hit for a 1-shot by the Jet Spear as well. So, like, this isn't an unreasonable attack to use as a second thing here, especially because Training Court can just get the energy back if this bee gets, like, gusted away, right? They're trying to get the
Thankfully, the Crobat isn't Grass weak.
Yeah, it's Fighting weak, which then just dies to Zapdos instead.
That just dies to something else.
Yeah, it's just funny because Crobat is quad resistant.
I know. And it's quad resistant to Bug too, so it checks out.
And Fighting.
And Fighting, which is still weak too, so that doesn't
immune to ground.
but it's a poison type, therefore it's weak to ground. That's the
On
logic.
Jupiter, maybe.
That's literally the
How many
logic.
flying types are weak to rock?
Ah, boy.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
It's literally
technically weak to rock.
Look, it's literally the logic of this generation, dude. I don't know what to tell you. It's a poison type, therefore it's ground weak. We know.
This gen has shitty logic.
Well, it's not the only generation.
Not even this gen.
it's not the only generation where Swampert has been weak to lightning, so you know. Alright, do we want to do another one, Sai?
I think we're good because my ears starting to get a bit annoyed.
That's fair. That's why I was thought I would check. Yeah, so Arceus is obviously very good, but it's in a bunch of different ways that you can play out.
Just to show it.
Yeah, might as well show you a bit with it. That wasn't actually the deck I was going to play first, so I might as well do the same thing. But Pepper has already played against the other one with it, so yeah, you've got the Duraludon bit, which is a deck of all time for sure. My other one was going to show the basic side of the thing, because the one, but I guess that's why I ended up playing the Beedrill one as well, because that kind of shows off the sort of basic side of what the Arceus can do. One of the things that the Arceus deck can do very well is just fuel up the basic Pokemon B as well. Yeah, they're less tanky than the V-Stars or the VMAXs, but they're less investment to get out, and in the case of VMAXs, they give up less prizes as well. So, like, that can actually matter. This one uses Zamazenta, which is something that you don't see in too many decks, to be fair. Revenge Blast is a very good attack. Hello there, Dubwool, right? But this time it can hit
Dubwool, Skyman.
Yeah. Yeah, the Shaman V and V-Star also have that this round. And it's like, yeah, we technically can hit 2 Pokemon for weakness, right? That Whimsicott that was shown, but also the Sylveon, which was around. Arc Sylveon was the other thing I would have been, like, tempted to do. But yeah, this one, obviously dart-based on this side. It doesn't have the fighting type coverage off of it, but it does have the Crobat VMAX, which is played mostly to protect your Crobat, but also because it KOs Mew in one shot, which is pretty fun. So, like, that's kind of neat in its own right. Yeah, the fun thing with this one, yeah, it plays the 4 DT, but it doesn't have to rely on them, and also Path shuts off the issue point in this one. The Duraludon VMAX is annoying because it kind of stops you from damaging it when you've got special energy attached, but Path can shut that off, so there is a way out in this one too.
This is why we run more Crystal Kiev.
Yeah, like, that's the difficult bit. This deck can be really annoying with the healing, and probably does have a pretty strong matchup into here, like one of my... I'm not ever one-shotting it, but I do have 2 Sharon's Care and a Power Pad, so I guess if it's a attrition war that way, and I kind of win the attrition war because I can heal more than you can, right? So it's an interesting one for sure. Like, yeah, Crystal Cave does definitely annoy it, but what if I just don't put special energy down on the things I'm going to be attacking with eventually, right? Trinity Nova does kind of do that. Play. Yeah, so it's like I can.
Your first one's a pain, and then after that, it's like, okay, you're fine.
Yeah, but the first one, ideally, is not going to be hitting into a Duraludon VMAX just because of the fact of you've got Arceus as the first thing you generally have to hit with, and also, if that Duraludon general, it's not going to die in one shot to it because of the -30, but, you know, that's also going to be a thing that you will probably get a shot in against, right? And then, yeah, so it would be an interesting back and forth healing bit, but it would probably also take like 50, not 50, but like 20 turns or whatever to resolve, so I think this is fair enough not to play.
That right now.
Exactly, I think this is fair enough not to play everything off. But yeah, like, I can see ways that I could win with this, but it doesn't look particularly favored, right? Depends how
it's not
easy.
Fun either way.
No, not really. But at least this isn't like 4 Crushing Hammer, 4 like Fanner Waves and all of that type of thing with it, or like Flannery and stuff like that, like some of these can be, you know.
Or my own Sharon's Care.
Yeah. Well, Sharon's Care only works on the Arceus because it is colorless specific.
Okay.
Otherwise, this would be played like everywhere, right?
Fair. I haven't ran it, so...
Yeah, it's like, remember how good Acerola was, right? And then, think about that. Think about if the Acerola was in a VMAX format, you know?
Yeah, there's a reason they let Max Potion rotate early.
Yeah. And it's like, this deck doesn't have Cheryl, so I know Cheryl would discard all the energy, that's why it doesn't have it, but... that also, I mean, Hyper Potion discards all the energy, basically. So, I know you can discard the DCE, so it's like, attach one, discard that, and you can still be fine. But you can only do, well, I mean, you can only do this twice anyway, so it's, sure. I think the point is, you've got less sustain
So
than I
what
have
you're saying
overall.
is I put in Lucky Ice Pop and just go.
If we're gonna do that, you might as well just play Charizard VMAX, right? That's the one that flips all the heads of it, according to Mahone. Yeah, I know you probably do, but yeah, no, it's fine. I can see ways that both decks could win, which is at least interesting, but again, it's such an attrition war that would be tough to out-heal, but it's doable. It's doable.
I'm not necessarily looking to hit the Arceus with this as much as, oh, you're playing Mew.
Yeah, Mew hasn't fully adopted Path yet, right? So that definitely is the is one that you can thing in. Mew does have an attack that can hit through, but it's only 130, so it definitely isn't
130 base, but with a belt, which is common, with power tabs.
Yeah, it still doesn't. Yeah, but it still doesn't get close, really. With the 4 Crystal Cave and the big charm as well, it's not getting anywhere near like even 2-shot numbers, really. And that's on the first one, right? What do you do to the second Duraludon VMAX that was being built on the bench, right? Without Path, you just can't win that one.
And someone got 18th in the regional with a deck with 3 Lucky Ice Pop.
Oh yeah, I know. Some people are just gifted with flipping all the coin heads, you know?
Or rolling the dice and...
Yeah.
It was a Stojona VMAX misery deck, but still.
Similar idea, make something really fat, deal with it.
Yeah. But what I think is interesting with like this format compared to the last one is just like, yeah, there's Arceus is technically the top thing, it's technically tier 0 sort of thing if you add up every single variant, right? But there are like, I can show my objects page, there are like 20 different variants of stuff and more that I haven't even got up on here, right? There's so much.
It's just so versatile.
Yeah, arguably even more so than the Pokemon that actually have versatile. You know? Yeah.
It's into more things.
You can play so much with it. It's like most often you will see like a Dark type because of the Mew threat being so big, but like even outside of that, there's like it can play by itself. It doesn't have to have another attacker because this can, with the healing stuff, just be good enough. You kind of saw that in the middle of the game with Pepper, of like with Charon's Care just picking up one, the other one was available, right? If you have more basic energy and debt to just accelerate back, you can just do that like again and again, right? And just keep chaining this thing and you just don't die. You're hitting 200 a turn, that's completely fine, right? When you're not giving up any prizes. So,
and it also came up during the game with my game with Sai, second game.
So, like, it can just play by itself. Arc Intel is a good thing for itself. That's what your Jolteon was supposed to hit, right? So, like, that's a pretty good bit. But it can also hit whatever weakness you want. I have seen like Leafeon with this as well being a thing, just because you hit the things that are trying to hit. Yeah, the counters to the counter, if you will, right? Of going, well, if my opponent's playing, grass type thing, like grass weak thing, like the Hooper or whatnot, well, I could just hit that with Leafeon, and it's funny. Also, Leafeon greening cells can be a thing, right? But then we saw it with the Charizard as a thing too. Like, you can just go for the humongous number damage. You could go for something like the Duraludon here and just try and tank everything, being immune to damage from anything with special energy. Oh, look, that's immune to Double Turbo, which is like the new best card in the game. So that's pretty good, right? There's just a
Turbo, Single Strike, Fusion Strike, Rapid Strike.
Yep.
Being immune to special energy right now is pretty solid.
Yeah, for sure. And like, you can play it in Strike decks as well, right? Not Fusion Strike, obviously, because they need the Geneset stuff, but you can play it in single or Rapid Strike stuff too. It's Arc Urshifu is a thing that was played. The Sylveon was not super heavily into Arceus, but it still played the 2-2 line. Like, that's easily played as well. And yeah, whatever type you want. I think there are very few things that don't really go with this. And whilst that means that a lot of decks are going to be playing Arceus, it means that you're never quite playing the same game every time that you go through. Unlike the Mew, where it was the same not 60 per se, but like 55, 56 card, right? It was basically the same every time you played it last format.
Oops, I'm drawing through half my deck turn 1.
And like just even seeing these exact two decks next to each other, right? They're both Arceus, but they're using it in very different ways, and they look very different as well, right? You know, just seeing, yeah, the Path obviously focused on this one, the Crystal K focus here, like this is more focused on healing your big dude, whereas this is just being like, I want to hit different stuff for weakness and try and be playable in every matchup, you know? Whereas, yeah, here it's like, I'm going to stop these things and probably still be okay against most other stuff, because turns out 330 HP without weakness is pretty big.
360 is even bigger. 360 when I'm healing 30 every turn.
So, and yeah, this is fundamentally an Arceus-based deck. It doesn't have as many of them, sure, but it's fundamentally Arceus-based, but it's doing something completely different, and that's why I actually like this format a lot more than the last one. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. We'll see you for the next one in the Worlds format for this. Ah, dear. Which is going to be 2 sets, yeah, so